All right, welcome everybody to the first match of the knockout stage in Corsace Open 2023, where all 16 remaining teams will now be present. Notably, the top 8 seeders coming out of qualifiers who haven't been in the prior round robin stage and runoff stages now get to play. You can see RAMSING making their debut match on the left side, and on the other side we have KFC ZINGER, the Australian squad, coming out of round robin as the top seed in their group. So I think it's going to be a banger match. I think in terms of qualifications, RAMSING seeded 5th and KFC seeded 9th, but yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. Obviously, knockout stage, we have 3 different map pools today instead of the normal one. Now, I think normally I would have had Mavs joining me, not sure if he will be on his way, but for now I will be the lone commentator in the meantime. But notably, talking about the players on the side of RAMSING, we have Team Spirit as the team manager, but for the players we have Welter, Scrowell, Gamer228666, who I will be referring to as Gamer for the rest of the match. I think this might be easy to say. Raf GPO, Lesbury, and Kamenchik. On the side of KFC ZingerBox, we have Vivace as the team manager, O/, Big Snag, Arbusion, CS2, JGLF, and Sayo as the players. So we have a full Australian team on one side, and then on the other side, pretty European-heavy team. Some Russian players, some Ukrainian, Thailand, and the #1 Kazakhstan player. But on the side of RAMSING, you have such a strong mechanical team. And one thing about KFC ZingerBox that hasn't really been shown yet is their mechanical prowess. They've won some of their matches in round robin due to their gimmick ability. But yeah, I think they're going to have their mechanics roster really tested against RAMSING. But both teams banning out Pool A, which means that will not be the first pool to be played, but it could still be picked later on. The format being best of 7, 3 sets. Best of 3 sets, so I think we'll be getting either map pool B or C, picked by KFC ZingerBox, whichever one they want to play first, as it is the lower seeded team who gets to pick between the 2 options for the first map pool. Now, it's hard to judge when you have 3 fairly balanced map pools which one teams will want to pick from, because you have a good amount of standard slots and unconventional slots in each pool. But it is going to be up to KFC for the first pool choice. And it looks like they go for Pool C. And notably, I think there's some maps in Pool C I'm really keen to see KFC ZingerBox play. Notably, no mod 4, just for JGLF, to see how that goes. But keep in mind, in this stage, we have Protects being introduced into the tournament. So Protects being something done before the bans, which just prevents any team from banning that map. So if you do have a map you feel really strong on as a team, you can make sure that that cannot be banned. So one Protect, 1 ban, and then best of 7 after that. Now, as far as what each team will want to protect, I think RAMSING, obviously they got #1 in DT2 in qualifiers, which was a very fast tapping heavy map. So they're definitely going to have a very strong mechanics tapping team, but KFC is no slouch in that department as well. You might not necessarily have to protect a tapping map, but probably the biggest difference in qualifiers for these 2 teams was no mod 2. where RAMSING had a very solid Nomad 2 performance, the Nomad 2 being more of an aim control Nomad 2 in qualies, and KFC not being anywhere near as strong, getting 33rd overall. But it will be KFC's first protect. I think if they're super practiced on Nomad 4, they could go for that map, just because it is a very reading heavy, practice heavy Nomad 4, and with 30 maps in the pool to practice in just the course of 1 week, I cannot say all teams will have 4 practice players on each map, notably Nomad 4. So we'll have to see. If they're really feeling that map, they could protect it. Otherwise, you have some other options, like I think notably hidden, and yeah, they do protect Nomad 4. So clearly, they have practice players. I'm keen to see how JGLF performs on that map. I think some other players can do very well on the low AR reading. Maybe O/, maybe CS2. And now it is RAMSING's protect. And they do go for DT2, so they do stick to their speed, mechanical strength, so the DT2 being 240 BPM, pretty standard stamina map. I think one thing you might notice as we go into each pool, across the weekend, is you have some slots that are very standard, so DT2 in this pool C is a pretty normal DT2, but then you have things like the DT1 in pool A, which is a lot more of like a aim control map than the normal DT1 A map. Now it's KFC's turn to ban, and they go for Nomad 3, which I think is a pretty fair ban just considering how intense the Nomad 3 in Pool C is. It's AR10, which is an unusual approach rating for a Nomad slot, but it's 280 BPM, very speed heavy, very reading heavy. It's probably one of the wildest maps in the pool. I cannot imagine there's that many teams who can muster up a good 4-man roster for a map like that. So maybe just not feeling super strong in it, fearing RAMSING's mechanical prowess on those kinds of maps, and reading prowess, because it's a good mix of reading and mechanics. Then RAMSING bans out Hidden 2. So Hidden 2 being obviously the low AR reading map, AR 8.8 instead of the usual 8. But I do think KFC Zinger Box has a very strong hidden reading roster. It's probably one of the skills they're stronger at than RAMSING. So that ban making a lot of sense. Now, they go for Hard Rock 2. I was expecting potentially... Actually, I'm not sure if there's any other speed maps left in Pool C. I was thinking maybe Nomad 2, but they go for the Hard Rock 2 precision pick. This map, I believe... Yeah, it is the custom song of the Pool C. I think each pool has a custom song, Hard Rock 2 being the one for Pool C. Very nice to see custom songs. Very cool, techie, precision map. Lots of cut streams, lots of spaced flow aim, especially near the end. It's going to take very capable precision roster to perform well on. Cannot imagine too many big combos are going to be seen. Saying that, both of these teams had a very solid Hard Rock performance in qualies, and I think they both have the mechanics for a map like this precision map being a little bit on the gimmickier side as far as having to play 1/4 cuts as well as some really spaced flow aim sections. So we'll see how these teams go. We are in. We have Welter, Scroel, Kaminchik, and Lesbury on the side of RAMSING, and Arbusion, O/Big Snag, and Sayo on the side of KFC Zinger Box. I think these are probably the expected teams for these rosters. Obviously, there's not as much team choices when it's 4 in a lobby and teams of 6, but you can see already that one very spaced flow aim flower pattern shape It's going to be the entirety of KFC's Zinger box to drop. It's now only Scrowell with any combo, hitting another flower pattern. You can already see how tough this map is to combo. I think Scrowell being the highest performing player in qualies, especially on some of those hard rocks, he's showing what he's capable of. Welter finding a recovery combo now, but that advantage is already going to start swinging for RAMSING. Scrowell does drop. That gives KFC some breathing room, but there's just no combo on pretty much anyone. And although the lead that RAMSING has built up isn't super dramatic, it's still noticeable when any combo, especially near this ending section, is going to be so hard to find. Building up once again. You do not necessarily want to find misses here. You can see these sections are so brutal, and this is where some of the flow aim gets so consistently spaced. You can see Scrowell, Welter, and Arbusion all finding recovery combos, but that's favored to RAMSING. It's now Welter and Arboy, but everybody's dropped, and now that 200 plus K score lead should be enough to have RAMSING secure their first pick. But look at these sections. You can see chain misses coming everywhere. Actually, RAMSING losing a noticeable amount of score from those chain misses. But it will not be enough for KFC to take a break point. That is RAMSING taking their first point. And also, shoutouts to Osu and the featured artist program for allowing custom songs like this to be funded. Really cool to see. Could not be done without the team's official support. But you can see Scrowell with 5 misses. Jesus. That is actually an absurd miscount. Nobody else even under 20. And Scrowell getting 5 miscount is actually kind of mental. Getting 400k. The outlier in that match, in that map. That's KFC to pick. So RAMSING opted to not immediately pick their DT2, which they protected. I wonder if KFC will like to just jump right into that no mod 4 since they know they will pick it at some point. One interesting thing about the protect system is it gives your opponent information, obviously what you would like to be picked, so there's no chance that your opponent's ever going to pick your protected map. And speaking of information as well, RAMSING, obviously this is their first match in the tournament as they seeded top 8. But they have some information on the KFC from their round robin matches, 3 in total, which means they do know a little bit more about KFC than KFC might know about them. But other than no mod 4, I think Hidden 1 could be a good option, but they do go for the no mod 4. Trying to get a point on the board with probably one of their most solid picks of this pool. Yeah, I think my player to look out for in this map is going to be JGLF. When it comes to these low AR, this is AR7, but very reading heavy. If you take the actual raw mechanics of this map, they're pretty reasonable. I mean, this is, I think, mid 5 stars as far as mechanics goes, but the reading, the overlaps, the AR7 is going to be heavy on practice. And I think KFC has the roster who would pop off on a map like this. But if RAMSING has also practiced and is ready, then this could be a contested pick. Waiting on the players. We are into it. So we have Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, and Kamenchik on the side of Ramsing, and Arbusion, O/Big Snag, and of course, the low AR man himself, JGLF, on the side of KFC Zinger Box. You already see several breaks from the very beginning. All of Ramsing has broken now. It's just Arbusion and JGLF. Noticeably, JGLF on 99% accuracy, which nobody else is even close to. The closest being Arbusion, who I think normally not considered necessarily a low AR player, but on no mod low AR, actually pretty solid. Showing that skill set of his, as JGLF and Arbusion, the only players with any significant combo. And although I expected JGLF to pop off on this map, and he is doing it, I don't expect Arbusion to also provide such a big second score, as everybody in the lobby is breaking but those two players. Arbusion does break. It's now only JGLF that is on the map. Only a third of the way into the song, and everybody finding struggles. JGLF hitting that absurd pattern. That score lead is already over 200k. And as JG holds this combo, it's only going to get bigger. And now I am just staring at the bottom right corner of the screen. An FC would be miraculous. There's just pretty much no free combo in this map. Any perfect stack is misreadable. See, Lesbury had a little bit of a combo, but it's gone now. O/ and Arbusion starting to build up once again. But this pick is pretty much already over as we enter the fourth quarter, and JG still holding an FC. Oh, unfortunately breaks on that linear jump, but that insane score is still going to do it. Arbusion as well with the second biggest score of the match as he holds the only remaining combo now, and it's gone, but still 270k and JG at 530k. I think, would this be a 1v4? I think it would be. Yeah, I think this would be a JG 1v4, unironically. And he hit 600k. 600k on this could very well be the highest scoring performance in this weekend, potentially, and he does it. I think that is a 1v4 by like 170k or 180k. Very well done to JG, and also big shout outs to Arbusion for also getting very solid score. But yeah, I guess maps like that show that you really only need one or two players who are practiced to win a pick. They win that one in dominant fashion. So yeah, a very fair protect from KFC. And now it's on to RAMSING's second pick. I wonder, DT1 is probably not necessarily something RAMSING wants to pick. It's a very gimmicky old map style DT1. Hard Rock 1, which is a standard conventional aim hard rock. But they go for the DT2, so they're picking their protected map. Now this is something that I think RAMSING has an advantage on. I think they will be very strong on this map, notably just because I think they'll have 4 very good players for this. But KFC, they have CS2, Sayo, Big Snag, Arbusion. I think they can and O/ as well. They have tapping players who can play stuff like this. Maybe not necessarily everybody is warm enough or has the skill cap to play this, because it is 7.9 stars, 240 BPM, just an onslaught of tapping. So this will be a skill cap tester. But if any of the players on KFC, I think notably Sayo and CS2, if either of those players can put up a big combo, could go the other way. But on the side of RAMSING. I think Welter, notably, an absolute monster of a tapping player, should be very strong in this, not to mention other players like Scrowell, Raf GPO, Lesbury. I think Kamenchik might be able to play something like this. You're going to find a very big team performance, as they did top score DT2 in qualies. But within each pool, you have like a fragmented average DT pool, and this is the most normal DT2 of the pool. So I think this is this is the DT2 for RAMSING. You see Welter, Lesbury, Scrowell, and Kamenchik on the side of RAMSING, and Sayo, CS2, O/, and Big Snag, KFC Zinger box. This is definitely a map where you might find a fourth player syndrome, where you don't necessarily have everybody who can tap at this level. So far in the intro, everybody looking fine. Nobody with a significant ACK loss. The Sayo is the first one to break, now at under 90%. Lesbury and O/ break as well. It's now 3-2. This map is not that long, a little over 2 minutes. Big Snag does drop that is Milo Milkshake on. It's now 2-1 as CS2's holding with a very solid accuracy, over 99.5%. That's not going to offset the extra FC that RAMSING has, as well as the recovery from Lesbury. Welter and Scrowell are still holding that FC past the halfway point. O/, however, is recovering to match Lesbury. It is still RAMSING favored by quite a margin, but if they lose their FCs, this 99% from CS2 could do it. Big Snag dropping is not going to help, but CS2 drops, and that's pretty much going to do it. Welter and Scrowell still holding onto those FCs. The 400k score lead already. This is pretty much over. Only O/ on the side of KFC with a combo now. Having recovered very well. That is Welter and Scrowell going to drop, but I think the score lead is probably already too significant, and especially with that drop from O/, that's going to be it. Will be Sayo as the player on the side of KFC who isn't as comfortable at mechanics of this speed, but it is so difficult to find 4 confident players when you only have 6 on your roster, and that's definitely a reason why RAMSING protected this map, is they knew they would have everybody ready to play this, having a minimum score of, 400k, basically 460k as your lowest score on a map this difficult, almost 8 stars. Very, very impressive. The mechanical dominance from Welter and Scrowell, even with CS2 getting a pretty big score, doesn't beat either of those on the side of RAMSING. But it's now their second pick for KFC. I wonder what they go for here. I still think Hidden 1 is an option. I don't really think you want to go No Mod 2. I don't think RAMSING will be very strong on No Mod 2. I think maybe Hidden 1 and DT1 as gimmicky reading-ish maps. And they do go for DT1. So don't be fooled by the DT1 slot. This is not a conventional A map. This is a 150 BPM alt reading flowy aimy map. Very similar to, I think, Tide Machine. If you're familiar with that map. Very old style of mapping. And this is going to challenge aim control at a relatively higher density than you would expect for DT. I do think KFC will be able to put up a pretty strong roster for this map, but now I think we're at the stage with the where pretty much every pick is going to be a lot more contested now that the protects have been played. But I think other than Big Snag, who likely won't really jive with the density of this map, I think every other player on KFC could probably play this. Let's see how the rosters go. You see Sayo, JGLF, RBusion, and CS2 for the KFC, Zinger Box, and Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, and Kamenchik for RAMSING. A map like this takes me back to old school version of Osu. See, early drops from CS2 and RBusion is already going to give RAMSING a leg up in this intro. It's under 2 minutes long. These early combos are going to do a lot. Menchik and Scrowell, however, do trade. And that's everybody, every FC on the side of KFC gone now in every combo. It's now only Lesbury and Welter with combos. And they're going to start taking this away halfway through the map now. They pretty much have to drop to give KFC a chance to take this one back. Welter does drop, but it's still Lesbury as the one to carry this combo, hitting some pretty insane patterns. I did mention this map has flow, and it does, but also a lot of these snaps are brutal. This pick is over. Just a question to see if Lesbury can get the FC, but unfortunately breaks, I think, on a slider. Maybe a slider end, but that will still be a massive break point for RAMSING. Winning by 733k off the back of a massive combo from Lesbury. But I mean, even Welter with the second highest score of the map and Scroll as the third, potentially a pick where KFC may be underestimating the ability for RAMSING to play a map like that. Maybe having a slight underperformance for themselves. But it's now 3-1 in this first set. It is now set point into RAMSING's pick, so it's their opportunity to close out this first set. And looking at some of the options they have, I do think probably between Nomad 2 and Hard Rock 1. Hard Rock 1, maybe not as much. I think that is something KFC Zinger Box could play very well, but Nomad 2 being a map type and a very aim control heavy Nomad 2, I think that's something that RAMSING could pop off on. Not necessarily sure KFC has a full lineup of players who can play that kind of skill set. They also have Nomad 1, which is... Oh, no, they do go for Hard Rock 1. Okay, so picking a map that they're definitely good on, I do think this is one of the more contested maps they could go for, because this type of conventional aim and stream Hard Rock, you will find teams who can often field a pretty solid 4 for this, but I think they're just very confident in their mechanics players. This is a nice Vocaloid Goomy Hard Rock 1. Love to see it. Yeah, this is probably the most standard Hard Rock 1 out of all 3 pools. The other Hard Rock ones being a little bit on the techier side, focusing on some of their skill sets. This is a lot more so just your standard aim and stream mechanics. Also, to reiterate, if RAMSING wins this point, it is not the end of the match. They still have to win another set. You have Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, and Kamenchik on the side of RAMSING, and Big Snag, Arbusion, O/CS2. I think KFC will be looking at Arbusion potentially to be the one to maybe get this breakpoint. A lot of early breaks on RAMSING. It's kind of interesting to see. I mean, it's not uncommon to see random breaks early in the map with 3 players maybe just recovering on the AR-10, but Big Snag and O/ will also find drops. CS2 finding a break as well. It's now only Arbusion on the side of KFC, with the remaining FC and Scrowell for RAMSING. But I think although we've seen quite a few maps that were on the shorter side, this is 4 minutes long. So early breaks not going to make as much of an impact. Big Snag, that's going to be a pretty significant combo dropping on KFC, but Scrowell breaking as well. However, now that CS2, O/ and Big Snag have all dropped, it's pretty much only Arbusion with a combo. If that goes away, it's going to be very detrimental for KFC. And that's gone, unfortunately. It's now only Lesbury with a combo. You can just see how consistently mechanically challenging this map is. This player is finding breaks everywhere. Once again, we saw Lesbury do it on DT1. Can he do it again on this Hard Rock one? A player who probably single-handedly made the biggest difference for Thailand in 4WC. Now showing his skill set in the open rank. Tourney scene as well. Lots of recoveries here, not just Lesbury with that big combo, but lots of recoveries. However, CS2 and Big Snag drop, so does Kamenchik and Welter. Score lead is still very, very slight to RAMSING. Now with Scroll and Kamenchik dropping, I think the accuracy on the side of KFC Zinger Box is doing a lot right now to keep this close. It's really just on Lesbury's combo to keep this in RAMSING's favor. Especially now that O/ has recovered. And Lesbury breaking, I think that's going to give advantage to KFC. Only barely. The score lead has flickered. Those breaks from RAMSING is going to speed up that score reversal. As KFC look to breakpoint, Big Snag does find a break, but it still should be KFC favored. Fusion finding a break on what? I don't even know what that was. That was an interesting place to find a break on. However, as long as O/ holds that jump, no! Breaking right after that jump section on the slider. That's CS2 gone as well. That's leaving no combo for KFC. It's now going to start flickering to RAMSING as Scrowell and Lesbury, as well as Welter, all have some combo. It looked so good for KFC, but everybody finding a break. think that's going to be it for this set C pool. As RAMSING look to close out this Hard Rock one. Lesperi getting just shy of 600k, maybe, yep, getting 600k. Very solid score. O/Slash with a good effort, getting the highest score on the team. But that will be RAMSING taking the first set of the match. It will now go on to the next set, which I think will be a choice from ZINGER Box once again. So to reiterate the rules with the set choices, the first set, if both teams strike the same pool, is picked by the lower seeded team. The second set is picked by the team who loses. With the sets being available, obviously being A and B. Now, considering both teams struck A from the pool, even though KFC ZINGER Box did strike it, they could go for it still. Might go for B instead. And this choice between the two pools is going to be very important for KFC, as they have to win this set to continue the match. And they do go for A. I think A having some pretty good maps for KFC. I think notably, you have things like DT1, which is one of the skill sets I think KFC might be stronger on than RAMSING, is the higher BPM aim control DT that I think KFC really excels at. You have that DT1. You have a techier Hard Rock one, which I think KFC might be stronger, a little bit more contested on. You have a very good hidden pool for KFC. And then things like No Mod 4, which I could imagine somebody like JGLF once again popping off on. So this was a pool I actually was surprised to see KFC ban. They do go for it. Now it's, I think, going to be RAMSING's turn to protect first. They protected the high BPM stamina map the first time. You could go for DT2. It's a bit of a different kind of map in this pool. 285 BPM. A little bit denser as well. It's AR10 at 285 BPM. And more focused on speed rather than stamina. Could be their best protect. Otherwise, you also have No Mod 2. Potentially, it's a bit of a speedier No Mod 2 at 208 BPM. They actually go for Hard Rock too, so that's going to be the very conventional precision pick. Very just standard aim focused. It was a skill set they went for in the first set. It paid off pretty well for them. Now, KFC to protect. No Mod 4 is much less of a practice map, but could be a protect if they're feeling good on it. Otherwise, they have DT1 potentially, I think is something they're going to be pretty strong on. Or one of the hiddens. Actually, yeah, it's probably something like Hidden 2 they could go for. They go for Hidden 1. So that's the aim control, very cut heavy hidden they're going to protect. I think it's a skill set that they have been pretty strong on in round robin. Notably, somebody like O/Slash being very strong on those kinds of maps. Once again, RAMSING bans out the Hidden 2, not looking to play any low AR Hidden today. I do think that this pool has maybe the most brutal Hidden 2. And KFC immediately banned DT2. Not looking to play that map at all. And I do think it's fair because although KFC is probably stronger as a 4-man lineup on stamina, I do not think they have 4 players for high BPM speed. So that map would probably be even more brutal of a loss than DT2 was in the last set. But it is going to be their first pick. They could just go right into Hidden 1, which they protected. Otherwise, you have... Yeah, they do go for the Hidden 1. Fair strat. You could save your protected pick for later, but honestly, there's really not that much point just because your opponent is never going to go for it. Now, I think that this is something KFC is going to be very strong on, but RAMSING, being a powerhouse of a team, you cannot count them out on any pick. And this is certainly one of them. The approach rating being 9.6 on this map makes it a little bit more comfortable to play as far as a reading angle, but just the consistency of the 165 BPM, 1/4 cut gameplay will make taking any significant combo far into the map very, very difficult. Think for KFC, I expect to see something like O/, Arbusion, JGLF Sayo on this pick. Maybe CS2 instead of one of those players. RAMSING likely have something like Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, maybe Kamenchik. I think we haven't seen too much of RAF GPO. I'm not sure if we've seen RAF GPO in this match yet. I can't remember. We have Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, and Kamenchik, and Sayo, our boy JGLF, and O/ for KFC. Now, this is KFC's first pick and their protected pick, so the pressure is on to perform. You can see a lot of these patterns flow aim that goes back in on itself. Already lots of breaks, only Scrowell left on RAMSING. Meanwhile, KFC with that recovery from O/ from the early miss, and Sayo, our boy, still holding on. That's going to be Scrowell and Arbusion trading, as well as Sayo. It's now only O/ remaining. And as we can see how difficult it is to get a big combo, pretty much every single pattern is missable. O/ will drop that big combo. It's now JGLF up against Lesbury. Our boy up against Scrowell. Still very even combos, even with those two breaks. But JGLF dropping leaves only Scrowell. This is a pretty long map, so lots of time to find recovery combos. It is an absolute slugfest. Scrowell does drop, that gives KFC a chance to recover, especially with Arbusion and O/ building up their combo again. And that's just going to be the story of the map. Who can keep those secondary combos going on for longer. Now O/ up against Kamenchik, who found a break. How many breaks on that section? Score lead is pretty much frozen, but it should slowly sliver its way towards KFC as long as O Slash can hold. Fortunately, finding a break and a massive chain miss. So do a few other players. Now it's Scrowell covering once again. I think Scrowell and O Slash being the two most consistent players in this match, on this in this map, I mean. Score lead is favoring RAMSING, but it's still such a slight advantage. And now with that Scrowell drop, gives KFC a chance once again. And that lead has been between 0 and like 30k pretty much this entire pick. Will it flicker to KFC right at the end? Can they do it? It needs to be Arbusion to carry this combo. As well as O Slash ideally, but he does break. Esprit drops, that should flicker it to KFC, and it does. Combo in this ending, he does find a break. It's now flickered to come down. Oh well, now once again with the only combo, I think with that chain miss from KFC, it's now going to go to RAMSING, and they will start this set off with a breakpoint. The spinning not being fast enough for KFC to take that back. With 440k, biggest score of the pick. That will be a rough start for KFC. I think I had a bit of a lag spike. Should be good now. But not the best start for KFC to this match, going into RAMSING's first pick. They obviously have protected Hard Rock 2. They could just get right into that. Otherwise, could maybe go for Hard Rock 1 if they're feeling confident in their Hard Rock mechanics. Go for No Mod 3 instead. So this is a techie, high BPM aim type of No Mod 3. Lots of spaced triples and slider aim. Pretty mixed skill set map. Although it's on the higher BPM side for sure, I would still say it is more of an aim map than a tapping map. Once again, although I think KFC will likely be able to field a pretty good four-man for this, the mechanics of RAMSING has just proven to be so strong in this match. Imagine we will see probably the same roster we have been seeing from RAMSING. Because I don't think we've seen Raf GPO or Gamer yet. They just may or may not be available. So we do see the same four from RAMSING: Scrowell, Lesbury, Welter, and Kamenchik. On the side of KFC, we have O/CS2, Big Snag, and Arbusion. Several early breaks. I do think, depending on the outcome of this map, whichever team wins this could lean into Hard Rock 1 as an option. KFC finding breaks from pretty much everybody but RBusion, who is now gone. That's all of the FCs, but I think actually maybe Kamenchik still holding lone combo. You can just see how spaced that slider aim gets. Getting to the very edges of the playfield. Kamenchik does drop. He already built his team a pretty nice score lead with that combo. As the map is just a little over 2 minutes. Lesbury over 400 combo now. By far the biggest combo in this pick. That's remaining. Looking to secure the point. Yeah, as we wrap up into this last quarter, although Lesbury dropped, it's now only Big Snag and now he's gone. It's pretty much no combo left. I think those combos from Kamenchik and Lesbury probably did it. That is going to be RAMSING winning their first pick. Going 2-0 now in this second set. It's starting to look grim for KFC Zinger Box. They still look to get their first pick of this set. And I think out of what's left, DT1 is still an option. Also have no mod 4. I think everything else is a little bit frightening to pick into. This is a crucial pick because depending on how this goes, it could be their last pick of the match. If they lose this and then their opponent's pick. And they are indeed thinking. Looks like they do go for DT1. I do think this is a good pick for them. This map is pretty hectic. 180 BPM, but very, very aim control heavy. Lots of cuts. Lots of very fast aim for this BPM. I think a similar type of skill set, but obviously at a lower difficulty, we saw KFC pick the DT3 in round robin. RBusion absolutely popped off, getting very close to an FC. It's a very similar skill set, just ramped up in terms of difficulty. In terms of qualifier scores between these two teams, this was probably RAMSING's worst performing skill set, getting 30th overall despite having top 10 on almost every other map in qualies. This type of aim control DT. So I think if there is any map in this pool that KFC should win, it should be this one. We'll likely see the same format for RAMSING. Walter Skrull, Lesper, and Kamenchik, and Big Snag, Sayo, and O Slash, our boy from KFC Zinger Box. Now this is a map I can imagine to see pretty low scores. Similar to Hidden 1, being a very aim control heavy map with lots and lots of missable patterns. I cannot imagine any player getting more than like 500k at the very high end. I believe this is AR10, so this is going to be a buff for Big Snag, also known as Milo Milkshake, for his reading. A very short map, once again, under 2 minutes. Already a massive lead from KFC in terms of combo. Sayo does break, it's a pretty big combo gone. Big Snag follows. And O Slash, that is tragedy for KFC as we see Skrull and Kamenchik still holding onto pretty significant combos. Although KFC built up a pretty big lead, that's going to start flickering over if those two players can hold on the side of RAMSING. KFC needs to recover. Skrull does break, that's going to give KFC a lot of time, but they need to build up those secondary combos, and right now it's only O Slash, but it's being matched by Lesper and Welter. Kamenchik now passing 600 combo. The score lead has flickered to RAMSING despite the great start from KFC. As we wrap up into the outro of this map, it looks like RAMSING will take another of KFC's picks yet again. A very unfortunate pick for KFC. They started off so well, but RAMSING just recovering, getting a very solid team score, performing more consistently in that outro. It's now going to be RAMSING 3-0. Looking to close out this match. I think both the protected Hard Rock 2 and Hard Rock 1 are both good options for them. I would like to see a Hard Rock 1 just for the song, but I can imagine they just they go for their protected map. They do go for their protected pick, Hard Rock 2. The precision map of the pool, and this is probably the most conventional Hard Rock 2 of all three pools, just being an aim check for the most part. You have a little bit of weird angles, but at AR10, weird angles aren't as bad to deal with. But this is RAMSING's opportunity to close out this match and win their second set. And on their protected pick, which should feel pretty good for them. However, being 6.5 aim consistency, this is the type of map that could always go the other way. KFC's back against the wall. This is their last opportunity to start taking things around. Nerves will be tested in a map like this. So we see the same four-man on RAMSING, Walter Skrull, Lesper, and Kamenchik, and Big Snag, CS2, O/Arbush, and the Hard Rock team of KFC. Can they take this pick, turn it around? RO16 being the first break on KFC, surprised to see But Lesbury and Squirrel dropping in the intro. Big Snag and CS2 falling as well on the same note. Normally, missing early doesn't usually matter as much, but when maps are this challenging and getting any combo is so difficult, any little bit of combo counts. Right now, RAMSING looking super good. All of those misses having been recovered. Squirrel traded by Big Snag. Spree breaking, it's now Welter and Kamenchik up against O/Arbusian. Welter dropping gives the advantage over to KFC, and missing on the halfway point is going to be devastating. As O/ still holds, but no, O/ and Arbusian break. That is so unfortunate for KFC. Those two combos were doing so much. CS2 is holding, but Kamenchik still on 600 combo. Clutching up for his team right now. Score lead is now rocketing over to RAMSING. And other than pretty much a four-way chain miss from RAMSING, the score lead is not going to slow down anytime soon. That's going to be a four-way chain miss on RAMSING, but it's not only Arbusian who got through that section, it's just too little too late to undo this massive score lead that RAMSING has built up. That is going to be RAMSING 4-0ing KFC in the second set, closing out this match 2-0 in the sets in their first proper match of the tournament. GG's to RAMSING and condolences to KFC Zinger Box. Because this format is single elim, that will be KFC out of the tournament. RAMSING will move on. I believe they will play their second match of this round tonight. They'll be either up against Rubber Conquest or Titan Hollow, depending on which of those two teams win their match. But GG's to RAMSING and condolences to KFC. They did have a pretty good round in round robin. Unfortunately, will be seeing themselves out. But we will be having more matches tonight, I believe. The next match being in around 3 hours. That will be Round Table Hong Kong up against Dream Squad. So stay tuned for that. But that will be it from me. Have a good rest of your night, everyone.